Erika Van Noort, you are the Senior Director of Strategic Innovation at Softchoice. I wonder if we could talk about digital transformation in the enterprise as well as SMBs and startups. What will the CIO look like in 5 years?
Interesting question. It's sort of like the crystal ball reading into the future. So we see the CIO role as one that's constantly evolving to support digital transformation as businesses move forward into the future. And it's really about that true partnership with the business to enable them to grow, compete, differentiate, and scale. I mean, it's that business enablement piece through technology.
So when we look at digital transformation, what does the path look like from an SMB standpoint versus that of an enterprise company?
So I would say enterprise, they probably have some incredibly robust IT groups in the first place and have done a lot with really understanding what should be on-prem versus off-prem. But I think in the more SMB space, it's a newish conversation. It's not something that people aren't aware of, but I would say the opportunity for them is to really go back and say, are we truly evolving? Because business and our competition is driving us in a direction where we have to be more relevant. And at the end of the day, the customer or your end user is really the one that's driving the expectation from the consumerization of IT and how well are they responding. So I would say SMB just tends to be a little bit more, they tend to be a little more sometimes wait and see where the competition's going to push or drive, as opposed to enterprise, which really believe more in sort of that bleeding edge, leading edge approach.
No matter what size company I may work for, how do I communicate digital transformation goals across teams?
So I think it's to put it in a way that people understand what it means in the first place, because digital transformation is something we've been doing on an ongoing basis. It's not like it's brand new. We've been evolving, but digital meaning that we don't have to think of things in the frame of owning it and having it, that we can go and look at it as an example. It can be from a hybrid IT perspective. If we think about consumption economics and how so many of the vendors out there have moved towards that. So really it's a case of digital transformation to the businesses. I can find a way to help technology enable you as an independent part of the business, line of business, to grow, compete, differentiate, and scale. So how do we do that together?
Finally, Erica, when we look, say, 18, 36 months down the line,
Yep.
what innovations, I'm so glad you mentioned a moment ago, the consumerization of IT. This is happening at an exponential rate as opposed to an iterative rate now. What technologies do you see over the next, say, 18 to 36 months really driving digital transformation?
So again, I think it comes at it from the user or the customer experience perspective. I see, and rather than talk to specific brands, I think it's more around things that will truly help us collaborate. So we think about the ability to, we use the term, we want to be able to release stranded capital in our businesses, which in often cases is technical debt that we've invested in over the years. And from that perspective, of seeing those changes in the future, the technology is going to be around what helps us to be more efficient, more effective in our roles internally within an organization to work together to support business outcomes, as well as what do we need to provide our customers, because customers or citizens or patients or however you define that end user, they come with that whole expectation of A, it should just work, and B, you should be helping me to self-serve, because that's the way the world has started to go. And I would say the more self-serve that's available, the upcoming generations they just live that way. They're digital natives.